We'll call the meeting to order. Shall we rise for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. The very first item this evening is to recognize the retirement of Officer Gregory Whitmer from our police department.
I think most of us all know Greg, and Greg's been with us for 30 years. Also grew up in the township, and tonight we unfortunately have to wish him a happy retirement. And he beat me. I started just a couple years before Greg started, so we sort of, when I was in Parks and Rec and he was dispatching and a rookie police officer, we encountered each other a lot at different township events and in the park system, and we both sort of grew up through the system and the organization. And Greg has done a fantastic job for the township and the community. Always had the community as number one. You know, he wanted to make sure that we were safe. He wanted to make sure that our quality of life was high in Horsham, and he cared and loved Horsham and still loves Horsham. Internally we sometimes would refer to, not as the pit bull. And, if we had an issue on a road or we had an issue somewhere and Greg got assigned to it, it was just like, man, the pit bull's going to fix this problem. And he would. He would go right to it and give it his, hardest effort to fix whatever problem it was, whether it was speeding or another issue in a neighborhood. He would work at it until it was solved and gave it his all. So I had the pleasure, again, working with Greg for 30 years. We'll miss you, Greg, but thank you for all that you've done for Horsham. You were a very, there's some employees that just glide by and out the door they go, but Greg was one of those ones that, really cared and very productive and did a great job for Horsham. So we'll miss you, but also wish you very well in your next chapter of life, in retirement, your next phase, your future endeavors. But sincerely, thank you, Greg, for all that you did for Horsham.
All right, we have a...
Chief's going up.
No, this is the...
Is that on?
Missing one?
No. You sure? Okay. This is the part where I have to think of something that Bill hasn't already said. He checked off everything on my notes here, but I do want to touch on a couple of things that you said about Greg. 30 years is a long time for any, I don't care what you do for a living. But if you know how Greg approached the job, that they don't make them like him anymore. I mean, he embodied service above self. I mean, he put this community first to his own detriment at times. You referred to him as the bulldog, right? And that was true whether or not he was trying to investigate a crime or working tirelessly to help a community member with a traffic issue in their neighborhood. It didn't matter what it was. He was also very dedicated to motor carrier enforcement, which a lot of people don't understand what they do, but basically they work on federal guidelines for commercial motor vehicles, and you really don't know just what's out there on the roads unless you have an understanding of some of the things that he's done. I don't, with the exception of our investigations division, I don't think there's any division that Greg did not take part in. He was in patrol. He's our highway safety go-to guy, motor patrolman, and like I said, our motor carrier safety enforcement. I want to thank you. I mean, you've been, like I said, 2000 is when you started as a cop, right? I walked in the door, I don't know what I'm doing, and Greg was one of those guys that took me under the wing and showed me the way in which, Horsham approached law enforcement, having come from an urban environment, it was very different. Greg was one of the ones that were instrumental in helping me understand what was important in a community like this. So, Greg, I want to thank you for your service to the department. I want to thank you for all the help you've provided me as both a mentor and also as a fellow employee. As Bill said, I'm not happy you're going. For the department, we're losing somebody. But for you, your family, and this next chapter in your life, I couldn't be happier for you, my friend. So congratulations.
Thank you. I didn't prepare anything, so I won't keep anybody here, but it was an honor and pleasure to serve in the township here. Know most everyone here, Mr. Glemser, Mr. Whiteside, of course, Mr. Walker, and you were all here in town a long time with me. And we did a lot of things here, and it was a very good career, and learned a lot, and we got to know a lot of things, and we helped a lot of people, and that's most important. And we have a very unique township. Here, it's unlike some of the others around, and it was very different coming here and seeing how we paid extra attention to things, and due diligence was a big part of our work here. So, but the work that went on here is what kind of made this area great. So, and everyone helped chip in, and you guys and also helped me with having a great career and keeping me going. So I'm very happy for all the times I spent here, but I'll be moving on and moving up north with my fiance, and be spending time with my family, and the next chapter comes on. So thank you very much.
All right, now I get to read your proclamation. Whereas it is with great pleasure that we recognize Greg Whitmer for his 30 years of devotion and service to our community as a member of the Horsham Township Police Department. And whereas Greg Whitmer began his career as a dispatcher with the Horsham Township Police Department in 1995, in July of 2000, Greg was promoted to officer. However, recently he has specialized in motor carrier enforcement and was a proud member of the department's motor unit. And whereas, during his career, Greg has received a department commendation for his brave actions in apprehending a violent offender who had fired a handgun several times in an occupied apartment building, and has accumulated countless accolades from members of the community and surrounding departments for his outstanding work and dedication. And whereas, his service brings great credit to himself, his family, and Horsham Township, Greg Whitmer has forever left a favorable impression on those who have had the pleasure of working with him and on the township he has served so well. And whereas, on the occasion of his departure, we extend to Greg our best wishes for success in all his future endeavors. Greg, thank you for your service, and we truly are going to miss you.
Thank you.
Pictures here? Okay. All right, well, come on up and we'll do pictures now.
It's a donut. Congratulations.
Ready,
Awesome.
1, 2, 3.
Sorry about that.
All right, our next item this evening is, Dennis, how about you tell us about our Carpenter Cross Bike Race and our Eco-Vent?
Sure. So our Carpenter Cross Bike Race was our 7th annual this year. As you know, we moved it from Deep Meadow to Lukens Park, which we were kind of curious about to see how the event would go, because everybody knows and loves our Deep Meadow Park, and the course is put together very well there. So we're curious to see what kind of feedback and response we will get by moving it to Lukens Park. and it was fantastic. I mean, the weather was beautiful. There was just a really good energy in the park, a good vibe. And it just goes to show that even though we move parks, I think it's because of the event itself is so successful. The course helps too. A lot of people did like the course, which is fantastic. We really squeezed every little hill we could out of Lukens Park. But it was a great day overall, a great turnout. We've had competitors from as high as Connecticut to as low as Washington, D.C., and we had some randoms. One person was from Florida, one person was from California. So it's really a fantastic day when you're able to showcase Horsham the way we do with our beautiful park. Everybody always comments on our facilities. And this year, again, that the course was fantastic. So are we going back to Deep Meadow? Are we going to go to Lukens again? I don't know. People really wanted us to stay at Lukens because they thought it was fantastic, and it was comfortable there. But it's a good problem to have. But it was a fantastic day overall. And just this past weekend, we had our eco-vent, and that is where we provide trees for our residents. We have 5 different species this year. We also give them an opportunity to dispose of e-waste and bring any shredding that they want to get rid of. Again, fantastic weather. We had a great turnout. The event went smoothly. We always get that big rush of people that want to get here and get their tree and get rid of their recycling. So that was great. But with the weather and the way the turnout was, another great event. These events that we put on, I think all of our events that we do are fantastic, but a lot of hard work goes into them, and they really, they seem pretty easy the day of. I think all the hard work's done by then. It's just a day for the residents to come out and enjoy. But I want to thank Kyle Lynch for his work in both events, the volunteers that came out to help at both events, council that came out to help out at both events, and our Public Works Department, because they do a lot of behind the scenes of both events too, with setup and cleanup. But it's a big team effort, and I just want to thank everybody for 2 fantastic events to start our fall.
Thank you, Dennis. And I hope I speak on behalf of all of council. I'd like to thank all of the township staff and all of the volunteers that helped make both of these events a success.
And I just wanted to throw in 2 things. One, thank you for arranging for the food for the cyclists at the event, because that brought out Bonefish Grill. They provided breakfast and lunch for all of the participants, as well as the people who randomly came for a short time like myself, and it was amazing. And I also wanted to thank you and Kyle. After the event last year, I was there on site and realized how much caution tape we have that creates the course, and it's a plastic film. So I wasn't able to be there at the cleanup, but requested that it get bagged. It's donated to Trex. That was 18 pounds of plastic that was collected. That was really incredible. So that's going to go towards a bench. So thank you for the extra step of saving that. I appreciate it.
Just want to echo everyone's congratulations, and just to you, Dennis, thank you for your commitment to the township and your passion and dedication. I think without that, we wouldn't have these events, and it's noticed. And I just want you to know that we really appreciate you and everything that you do.
Okay, the next item would be opportunity for questions and comments from the public. No questions or comments?
I want to go.
Oh,
You gotta run.
Looking around to see who else is.
Okay. Hi, my name's Grace. I moved to Horsham about 2 years ago with my family.
You just need your address. Sorry.
You really? Okay. It's 507 Catherine Way.
Okay. Thank you.
Yep. I've been working with the local police due to an issue with my neighbor, and I would like to start a process of maybe putting in an ordinance regarding vegetation, leaves, etc., that fall onto your neighbor's property, because it's causing conflict in my neighborhood, and it's not just me. There's been other incidents in not just our township, but this same neighbor with other neighbors. So I just would like to start a talk about that and either change the definition of littering in Horsham Township with the law that's already in place, or create a new law about how that would look. So.
How do we go about a discussion on that, Bill?
I don't know anything about it, so, but
I do. Do you want to describe what's happened, or do you want me to just fill Bill in later?
I can describe what's happening.
Okay.
My neighbor is very upset that my tree that's in the corner of my property drops sticks, leaves, etc. onto hers, and she's been throwing it onto my property along with trash, and has been blowing leaves on my property and things like that. We've tried to talk with her about not doing that, and just because we're a working family, we're a two-income household, like we have to work, and it takes time away from us and our kids. And she insists that because it's our tree, even though it hangs over to her property, that it's our responsibility. And she used to do the same to her neighbor behind her until they put up a fence as well. There's 5 or 6 trees that drop leaves onto her property, including her own, so, yeah.
I don't know who you've talked to at the staff level, but usually in situations like that, and our solicitor can chime in, it would be very challenging and difficult to write an ordinance relating to that problem. Usually when those problems arise, and you're not the first,
No.
They file a civil complaint with the district court.
Yeah,
And it
we're
goes to
working
the
on
district judge, and the judge works the issue out.
Yeah.
Because we would end up there anyway.
We're starting the process on that already.
Okay.
The officers, I feel bad, have been super helpful and come out every time to work with us, and have told her she needs to stop because it's becoming harassment at this point in time, so. But I do know that there are laws in other states and other cities regarding this issue, that they've developed over the years.
Yeah, I mean, I'll let Dave chime in. I don't.
The trash is, like, I see that differently than the leaves. Always. Sorry. The trash, I see as a lot different, frankly, than
Yes.
the natural waste, I would say. But it's not really, like Bill said, a police issue, but to a certain extent, it may become a police issue if there's
Correct.
an intent to harass or annoy or alarm you.
Yes.
That's when it could be a police issue if it goes on. So you can continue to do what you've been doing. I'll do some research to see the feasibility of something,
Yeah.
maybe build it into the nuisance ordinance, something like that.
Yeah.
But it would more likely than not be a civil issue that would go to district court. Not really county court level, I would think, but
Yeah.
Judge Stevens down the street.
Yeah, I understand. And as far as trash, I have talked to the officers before, and the definition of like littering in our township is only if it's from a moving vehicle that it's tossed. And that could be something that would be beneficial to update.
Yeah, we'll take a look. Yep.
So,
Do you have like a list of municipalities that have an ordinance that would match what you're looking to achieve?
not off the top of my head, but I can get some together for
Sure.
you.
Okay.
And before you leave, I'm sure we have your phone number somewhere, but if you could just leave your phone number with Dennis
Sure.
before you leave, so
Absolutely.
I can also reach out to you.
Thank you.
Yep.
Hey, thank you. Next, can we approve the minutes from September 10th?
You're gonna say anything or just go? No? Okay. Oh, I moved to approve the minutes. I was thinking of the checks, sorry.
Second.
Moved and seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Ayes have it. Treasurer's report?
Balance in the general fund as of September 30, 2025 is $7,411,458.76. For the most part, the expenses and revenues in all funds reflect normal activity for September. As of the end of the month, we have received 98.92% of budgeted revenue and have expended 65.45% of the budgeted expenses. I continue to be confident that our revenues will match budget expectations this year. However, as I mentioned before, we continue to monitor our projected revenues closely as we anticipate our expenditures will outpace our revenues next year. For a more detailed presentation of our current financial position, I would refer you to your monthly booklet.
Motion to approve the list of checks.
I move to approve the list of checks in all funds from September 18th, 2025 to October 8th, 2025 in the amount of $4,129,585.54 and further move to authorize payment of same. I move to ratify the U.S. Bank credit card transactions for the month of September 2025 in the amount of $12,882.58 and further move to authorize payment of same. I move to ratify checks in the Horsham Township Charitable Fund in the amount of $1,400.94 and further move to authorize payment of same.
Second.
Moved and seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Ayes have it. All right. Next, we need to introduce an ordinance amending the Township zoning ordinance to create new zoning districts on the former Naval Air Station, Joint Reserve Base Willow Grove, as per the approved redevelopment plan. Bill?
This is step number 3, your final step this year. Earlier this year, we put a 3-step process in to zone the base. This is the comprehensive zoning ordinance that you're just introducing tonight and establishing the public hearing for.
Okay. Do we have a motion to introduce the ordinance?
I move to introduce the ordinance as proposed, amending the Township zoning ordinance to create new zoning districts on the former Naval Air Station Joint Reserve Base Willow Grove, as per the approved redevelopment plan.
Second?
Moved and seconded. This is a roll call vote.
Mr. Glemser, how do you vote?
Aye.
Ms. Laff, how do you vote?
Aye.
Ms. Junkie, how do you vote?
Aye.
And Mr. Whiteside, how do you vote?
Vote aye.
Motion passes unanimously.
Next, we need to consider a resolution establishing a time and a place for the public hearing on the ordinance to create a new zoning districts on the former Naval Air Station Joint Reserve Base Willow Grove as per the approved redevelopment plan for Wednesday, November the 12th, 2025 at 7:45 p.m. in the Horsham Township Municipal Building at 1025 Horsham Road.
I move to adopt the resolution as proposed, establishing a time and place for a public hearing on proposal amending the Township zoning ordinance to create new zoning districts on the former Naval Air Station Joint Reserve Base Willow Grove as per the approved redevelopment plan Wednesday, November 12th, 2025 at 7:45 p.m. in the Horsham Township Municipal Building.
Second.
It's moved and seconded. This is a roll call vote.
Mr. Glemser, how do you vote?
Aye.
Ms. Laff, how do you vote?
Aye.
Ms. Chunky, how do you vote?
Aye.
And Mr. Whiteside, how do you vote?
Vote aye.
Motion passes unanimously.
Next, we need to consider a resolution adopting the sewage facilities planning module for 1129 and 1131 West County Line Road. Bill?
This is the Propato track on County Line Road. DeLuca Homes is going to be building the homes. This planning module, as you know, we have a sewer facilities plan, Act 537 plan. This planning module is ensuring that the land development is adequately planned for proper sewage disposal, primarily because it's not a gravity-fed system. It'll be a grinder-based system. And that's why DEP has requested this planning module. It has been approved by the County Planning Commission, the Horsham Township Planning Commission, the Montgomery County Health Department, the Water and Sewer Authority, and the Township Engineer, and is ready for your consideration this evening.
I move to adopt the resolution as proposed and authorize the Township Manager to sign the planning module documents once reviewed and approved by the Township Engineer and the Horsham Water and Sewer Authority for the Propato Tract 1129 and 1131 West County Line Road 25-02-D land development.
Sorry, second.
Moved and seconded. This is a roll call vote.
Mr. Glemser, how do you vote?
Aye.
Ms. Slaff, how do you vote?
Aye.
Ms. Chunky, how do you vote?
Aye.
And Mr. Whiteside, how do you vote?
Vote aye.
Motion passes unanimously.
Next, we need to render a decision on the Horsham Water and Sewer Authority, 945 Tennis Avenue, conditional use application, 25-10-CU.
Thank you, Mr. Whiteside. On September 10th, council heard two very similar conditional use applications filed by the Horsham Water and Sewer Authority. The first, as Mr. Whiteside just stated, was 945 Tennis Avenue, application 25-10-CU. It's my understanding that council is prepared to render its adjudication tonight, conditions of which would include the following: to install the water main. By the way, the application seeks conditional use to install a public water service connection underneath within the riparian corridor conservation district. I understand that there are conditions that council would like to impose, including to install the water main consistent with the plan submitted, comply with the township engineer's recommendations, comply with its riparian corridor management plan submitted, comply with the recommendations of the Montgomery County Planning Commission, abandon and cap any existing wells according to laws and regulations that apply, provide fully executed water service agreements with Horsham Water and Sewer Authority, and comply with all other codes and ordinances of Horsham Township. If that is indeed your understanding as well, I would need a motion to adopt and approve the conditional use application as drawn up by the solicitor.
I move to approve the conditional use application for the Horsham Water and Sewer Authority, 945 Tennis Avenue, 25-10-CU.
Second.
Moved and seconded. This is a roll call vote.
Mr. Glemser, how do you vote?
Aye.
Ms. Slaff, how do you vote?
Aye.
Ms. Chunky, how do you vote?
Aye.
And Mr. Whiteside, how do you vote?
And I vote aye.
Motion passes unanimously.
Next, we need to render a decision on the Horsham Water and Sewer Authority for 22 Meeting House Road, conditional use application, 25-11-CU.
Thank you, Mr. Whiteside. Just like the last one that I just recited, this is an application for conditional use. This one's for 22 Meeting House Road. It's conditional use 25-11-CU, seeking permission to install a public water system that'll cross through the riparian corridor conservation district that's on the property. This was heard by council on September 10th at its last public meeting, and I understand council is ready tonight with an adjudication that would include the following conditions. Rather than restate all the conditions, I'll incorporate them as I just recited them for the first conditional use application that we've done. And if that is in fact council's intention tonight, I would need a motion to adopt the adjudication decision and order presented by the solicitor.
I move to approve the conditional use application for the Horsham Water and Sewer Authority, 22 Meeting House Road, 25-11-CU.
Second.
Moved and seconded. This also is a roll call vote.
Mr. Glemser, how do you vote?
Aye.
Ms. Slaff, how do you vote?
Aye.
Ms. Chunky, how do you vote?
Aye.
And Mr. Whiteside, how do you vote? Motion passes unanimously.
Thank you.
Next is to consider a resolution distributing the foreign casualty tax money to the pension funds.
Each year, as you know, in the month of October, we receive money from the state. It's required and under state law that it be used for the municipal pension programs we have. So we received $813,211.61 from the state. The breakout for our two pension programs and funds would be for our non-uniform pension fund, $312,384, and for our police pension fund, $500,827.61. The resolution is in your packet for your consideration this evening.
Motion.
I move to adopt the resolution as proposed, distributing the foreign casualty tax money to the pension funds.
Second.
Moved and seconded. This is roll call vote.
Mr. Glemser, how do you vote?
Aye.
Ms. Slaff, how do you vote?
Aye.
Ms. Chunky, how do you vote?
Aye.
And Mr. Whiteside, how do you vote?
I vote aye.
Motion passes unanimously.
And next, we need to consider a resolution regarding the PennDOT snow and ice agreement.
So historically, we have paved. No, we're not going to pave. We have plowed and salted during the winter months numerous state roads that are throughout Horsham Township. There's 4 of them. Welsh Road, we plow and salt Welsh Road from Tennis Avenue to Route 309. Limekill Pike, We plow and salt from Welsh Road to County Line Road. And Horsham Road, Route 463, we plow from Lower State Road to Easton Road. And Norristown Road from Welsh Road to Horsham Road. And we do that, we have done that historically. We've entered into these agreements. The one in front of you this evening is a 5-year initial term with an automatic 5 years after that, as long as the state or the township doesn't put each other on notice that they want to cancel the agreement. Year one starts with $64,327.91. It goes up 2% each year after that. They do have some mechanisms built in. If it's a bad winter, they have an adjustment that we receive extra money if it's a very bad winter. And so this agreement will most likely take us over the next 10 years.
Do we motion?
Move to adopt the resolution and agreement as proposed between the Township and the Pennsylvania Department of Transportation for winter maintenance.
Second?
It's moved and seconded. This is a roll call vote.
Mr. Glemser, how do you vote?
Aye.
Ms. Laff, how do you vote?
Aye.
Ms. Chunky, how do you vote?
Aye.
And Mr. Whiteside, how do you vote?
I vote aye.
Motion passes unanimously.
There being no further business, I'll announce that our next Horsham Township Council meeting will be on Monday, October the 27th at 2025 at 7 p.m. in this auditorium. Meeting adjourned.